You came into this life with the only real possessions that ever mattered. Your body, the time you have to live, your energy, the thoughts and ideas unique to you, and your autonomy. Welcome to the Protected Podcast, a space for women to love themselves, heal themselves, and protect their energy. I understand that time is priceless and energy is expensive, so the fact that you came here to hear what I have to say says a lot. Please understand that all of what we're talking about is from my perspective and my perspective only. However, that does not mean that I'm not open to hear what anyone else has to say. If you have some tips, some tricks, or even another perspective to help your girl love herself more, heal herself, or even protect my energy, I'm open to it. So with that said, my name is Jahnasia. Let's get started. Life good. See now, been living on, Okay, Protective fam, I have a question. How many of you have been told that you are in your own way? Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, now how many of you have been told the process to get out of your own way? Don't worry, I'm gonna wait for that one too. All right, now, how many of you have been told what the fuck it actually means? Okay, I'm gonna wait again. Okay, so a lot of people have told me that I am in my own way, and a lot of my friends have been told the same thing. However, none of us have been told the process to get out of our own way. And one thing I can't stand about folk and about what people do when they're giving advice, quote unquote, is they give a critique, and next thing you know, you just leave me hanging. You done told me I'm in my own way, but goddamn it, wait a minute. You didn't tell me how I'm supposed to overcome this. And that's one thing I can't stand. If you're going to give me some criticism, some constructive criticism, baby, you got to give me some suggestions. If there is a problem, you got to give me a solution to the problem. So today, that is what I'm going to be talking about with a very good friend of mine. We're going to talk about actually where to begin. In some later Soul Tape sessions, I'm going to talk about the process because I'm in the process. And you know me, I like to talk about things when I'm in the thick of it. I can't stand talking about shit when everything is all said and done. We're gonna talk about it when I'm in the midst of the storm. Baby, I'm coming at you with some real, authentic, raw motherfucking emotions. My friend of mine is going to be joining me for this podcast. I'm going to keep him anonymous because I didn't really ask him if he was going to participate or not. So let's get him on the line. Hey, so you know I'm doing a podcast and I'm talking about getting out of your own way. So I wanted to get your view as to what it means to get out of your own way. And what do you think the first step is?
But get out your own way because you got to self-evaluate. You're only in your way because you're not trying to realize the stuff that's within that's the problem. If you don't recognize your own problems, you're gonna constantly be in your way. So I ain't gonna be giving you all my
So you gotta evaluate. You gotta self-evaluate and self-reflect is what you're saying to me.
That's first. That's first things first. If you can't do that and you're not willing to do that, you're gonna always be in your way. Then you gotta understand that you gotta be selfish.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
You have to be selfish in order to get out your way.
Selfish how? So you got to be selfish with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to be selfish with yourself. And how do you do that?
I can't give you. Listen, Gina. You're not coming on my show. It's trying to take. I got my own note.
Okay, but I'm just asking. How would you suggest?
Don't try to take these Jews and put into your repertoire.
I'm not. I'm gonna give you all your credit. Believe me.
You just gotta be selfish. You gotta be selfish. That's one thing that I did learn. There's something that people know, but they don't understand. I'll put it like that because, I know that, but I didn't fully understand. You gotta be selfish. You have to be selfish because if you steady trying to give out and give out and give out, you're never gonna get nothing accomplished or get out your own way. So you gotta be selfish. You gotta be focused and selfish. And you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan. You can't just be moving just to be moving and doing shit because you're just gonna be doing shit just to be doing shit.
So I read this article, right? And this article said that the way we look at what it means to be in your own way, we should probably look at it differently. So when I read it, I was like, So it said that basically when we're looking at being in our own way, we're looking at our stuff. So whether that's our ego, our mental blockages, our fears, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, that is what is keeping us away from what we desire. But when we say getting out of your own way, we mean like putting it to the side or separating ourselves from whatever that is.
See, but that's the thing that what people don't understand too, is that it's gonna come back around. It's gonna come back around.
So you can't separate yourself from it.
No, you can't separate. You just gotta you have to get through it. The only way out is the way through. That's simple. So if you saying that it's your ego, all right, cool. I know it's my ego. I'm not putting my ego to the side. I gotta know how to transform this and get through that. So I'm gonna still have my ego, but I have to know how to adapt to moving with it.
Okay. See, I like that because when I read it, I was like, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, when you say get out your own way, I'm thinking like you got to put all your stuff to the side. But in the article, of course, on psychology.com, on psychology.com, it was saying like for artists, for instance, when an artist is creating art, you are your mess. You are your stuff. You have so much to pull from. But if you put that to the side, what are you going to pull from? You don't have nothing to pull from.
Nothing. That's what I was just about to say too. Nothing.
So I'm just like, so I'm reading it and I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. You can't completely separate yourself from your stuff. You just have to accept like, this is what it is. This is the reality of it. And like you said, you have to get through it. And that's that. Whatever that fear is, I think it is important for people to actually think about what their fears are. Like, are you fearful of being successful? Are you fearful of failing? Are you fearful of living up to whatever it is you create? Like, what is it that you're afraid of? I think like that's the first step. And then you can do all the other stuff. What you think?
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
But how would you, how can I put this?
I think I know what you're about to ask. What's the process and how would you do?
Right. Because people gonna be like, okay, well, how do I do that?
Everybody's processes are different. You still have to take in account. You have to take in account the kind of person that you are, and the kind of things that you prefer to do, and the things that would hinder you from doing certain things. Like, let me see. Like myself, I personally don't care. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, I do know that it's sometimes an issue. You tell me all the time, you, my daughter, mom, my mother, my grandmother, heard it all of my life. You always want to move on your time. You do stuff when you want to, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so fucking what? It gets done now. Just because it didn't get done when you said do it, don't mean that it didn't get done. And it got done. But I understand that my thing with that is because I move at a fast pace. So I know that I move fast. And like, if I know that this right here is going to take me 2 minutes to do, just because I didn't do it and it got to be done by fucking 7:30, just because I didn't do it at 7 o'clock don't mean I know that I can get it done in 2 minutes. That means I can still get this done, started at 2:25 and it's going to be done by 7:30. You feel me? So it's like, I just have to know that's me. But take a little couple extra early minutes to get that out the way, bro. So you could just kick your feet up and you could be sitting there. I'm saying, like, it's just different strokes for different folks. Like, you got to put your process into how to do that yourself.
So what about this? Because I came up with some stuff. In order, like, to get out your own way, quote unquote. Okay, so you got to be fearless.
Right.
You got to take accountability. Trust your instincts. Know your value. Learn from your L's.
Absolutely.
Put yourself around the right people. Shape your own perception. And cultivate the heart of a hustler.
To get out your own way, the real basis of what you have to do, and the first thing that you have to do regardless is what I said. You have to self-evaluate. If you ain't gonna be real with yourself, none of the shit you're talking about gonna work.
One of the things I love about speaking to people from back home is that they always keep it 100 with me. When I decided to do this podcast, when I decided to do this particular soul tape session, I wanted to do something that was going to push my audience to save themselves. I think as a culture, we have this state of mind that someone is going to save us because that's what we've been taught. But no, baby. Here, we save ourselves. Nobody's going to save you. I know that may be a fucked up way to look at shit, but if you look at things from that perspective, you get out of this lackadaisical mode and you go into overdrive and you learn things about yourself and you push yourself to limits and you do things that you thought you could never do. So if you were wondering where I got some of the steps from, it was from 50 Cent's Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. I'm also reading his book with Robert Greene, The 50th Law. 50's books saved my life. You hear me when I say they have been helping me change my mentality, change how I'm looking at things, change how I'm dealing with things in life. I would definitely suggest picking up his books. I just want to leave you all a little affirmation for the rest of the week. I'm getting this out of the 50th Law with Robert Greene in 50. It says, you came into this life with the only real possessions that ever mattered: your body, the time that you have to live, your energy, the thoughts and ideas unique to you, and your autonomy. In other words, everything that you need is already inside you. You don't need anything else but belief in yourself, because you are magical. Anything that you want to achieve, you can manifest. So please search your soul for the answers that you seek and put your magic to use. Stay protected.